Hey, welcome to All Things Maya. My name's Maya, and this is a channel all about the crafting things that I do. And today we're going to do a review of the Great British Sewing Bee, Season 8, Episode 5. This week is all about Children's Week, and we will be going over each of the challenges that they did this week, and we will just run through um, my thoughts and opinions on different things. So we'll go ahead and get started. First off is the pattern challenge. In the pattern challenge, they had 3 hours and 45 minutes to come up with a mini sailor suit. It's basically a sailor suit for children. There's a lot of aspects to the sailor suit. It can be done in any fabric in this particular situation. It had to be lightweight. It needed contrasting ties and trim. When I saw this particular challenge, my fear level on it was pretty high. It was like a 4 or 5. Usually when they do the explanations, it's like you do 1, 2, 3, 4, and you put it together and you're done. And this was like 15 steps, and I was like, that is way too many. So yeah, my fear level on that was totally a upper level 4 or 5. I probably wouldn't attempt it. I don't have any reason to attempt it. So yeah, we'll stick with the 4 or 5. So the judges' expectations for this was that there was a good contrast between the fabrics. The tie needed to be a different contrast to the material. If you had a print that, had some nice reds, yellows, and greens, you might want to pick a red tie to sort of complement and accent the actual sailor suit. And then they had to choose the right fabrics, which comes into play a little bit later. And the shorts had to have elastic in it, and the project required a lot of ironing. I'm not a fan of ironing. I don't quilt because I don't like ironing. I should. I probably will in the future. I do a little bit of everything if I can help it. But yeah, this project requires a lot of ironing. So with the contestants' makes, Brogan had a lot of experience working with children's clothing. And so she seemed really confident going into it. Deborah and Annie used fabric in parts of their outfit that was too thick, and it made it very difficult to get those even crisp corners on their turn-ups. Annie chose sort of an odd way as well of measuring her waistband. It was more of a eyeballing it, just sort of like, I'll put it in there, I'll see if it works. And later down the line, it really didn't. Jill had some issues with sewing down the trim. Trim's pretty difficult to sew in the first place. It's really narrow. It has to be a certain distance apart. It's supposed to be equidistant throughout the whole way. And also it has to have like these squared corners. So everyone struggled with it, but Jill in particular really struggled with it. Christian, on the other hand, outside of the trim, he didn't seem to struggle very much at all. And then they got to the snaps, and it was one of those classic sewing room episodes or sewing room issues where one person or two people know how to do it, so they show other people how to do it. And that's one of the things I really enjoy about the British shows that are like competitions, is that even though it's a competition and in the end one person wins, they're not afraid of helping each other. At the end, if something's going on and they need to run to the haberdashery and grab like a trim for someone right quick, they may do that. But they're not afraid to go, oh, I know how to put in a grommet, I'll show you how to do it right quick. Because in the end, it's still going to be their work. They're still going to be the one to put the grommet in. It's not either. It doesn't hurt to show them. You want to be on an even playing field. So in the judging, they said that Christian worked his ironing magic fabulously. Not a fan of ironing, like I said before. They said that Marnie didn't contrast the tie enough, so it sort of changed the look of the garment, but overall the sewing was really well done. Deborah's fabric turned out to be too thick. I think she used like a denim or canvas type fabric. Angela didn't have enough contrast on her trim. The overall look was good. The tie had contrast. The trim itself sort of faded into the background. I believe she had the yellow outfit with the like yellow and white trim. Brogan's turned out to be very noticeable because she used the gingham print on the shorts. The shorts having the gingham print means there's lots of lines and you can tell when things are uneven. Also, she picked like a crap print for the top, and that turned out to be a bit busy with the gingham pants. Annie's turn-ups, again, an issue of having too thick fabric, not picking the right fabric. They weren't very good. In the end, her waistband didn't hold up, and that caused difficulties in a funny scene where you see Patrick accidentally drop the pants and going, oh no. Jill had some issues with the tape on her collar, as well as other people, as we mentioned before. And then Manny did pretty well. She had a classic sailor suit look. So in the end, Annie came in 8th place, probably the waistband that really did it for her. And then Jill came in 7th place. Christian ended up in 2nd place, and Manny had a good choice of fabric and what they called a classic sailor suit, and she came in 1st place. So overall, does this make me interested in making it? The more they discussed it, the more I was like, nope, not interested. Just not interested. It just seems too complicated. It's too fiddly. I don't know that I would want to do it for an adult pattern, let alone for children's sizes. I haven't done many or any children's. Well, I've knit a children's size sweater, but that's completely different than sewing. So I haven't really sewn anything children's size. So yeah, not interested in making it. Will never make it. It's just one of those things that no interest. So then we move on to the transformation challenge. The transformation challenge, they got 90 minutes to go ahead and take one item that was in one form and change it into another form. And this week it was taking a school uniform, there were dresses, shorts, and tops, and turning it into a cool outfit that a 6-year-old would wear outside of school. I tried to think of what I would make, and I had a lot of initial thoughts for it. I thought about a playered lay dress, a jacket, a top, a matching sword set, and finally I settled on like a jumper or a romper, because if you take the right fabrics, if you combine them the right way, you can make them look like an outside of school outfit. They won't look like a uniform, but it's still functional and cute, and it should be fairly easy to put together in 90 minutes. So with all the contestants going on, Jill ended up having an uneven zip, and she talked about trimming the hem area, which didn't work out really well. Manny goes straight in for dungarees, and Angela does the same, though Angela's came out looking more kind of almost like a jumpsuit. And then Marnie and Christian both went for a hoodie, but Marnie added some play shorts to go with hers. Brogan tried to go for a punk look. It was still very girly. It wasn't so punk as much as it was like blacks and pinks and things like that. So out of all of the contestant makes, the one that I felt was most out of the box was Annie's. The yellow and purple top and skirt that she had going on was really pretty awesome. I think if there was an adult version of it, I would probably wear it. And then it had a cute little matching purple bow. But also the hoodies, I got to give a shout out to the hoodies, because it's not something that I would necessarily thought to take a school uniform outfit and change it into a hoodie, but it works pretty well. The item that I was most drawn to out of everything would be Annie's, because as I said, I think it was cute, and I think if there was an adult version of it, I would totally wear it. And then we go to the made to measure. In the made to measure, they got 4 hours. I would like to correct myself from the last episode where I said the made to measure is always 5 hours. I recall them always being 5 hours, but in this case, it's 4 hours. which is really indicative of how difficult the pattern challenges are getting. This past pattern challenge was 3 hours 45 minutes. Last week's was 4 hours 15 minutes. And this make to measure is only 4 hours. So I definitely think that it is showing how the pattern challenges are just getting more difficult with each season. So in this made to measure, what they had to do was make a Halloween costume for a 9-year-old with a 3D effect. Basically something that sort of stands out and makes it less flat and one-dimensional. And my excitement level for this when I was thinking about it was like, no, not interested. I wasn't much for dressing up as a kid. I don't remember going out and doing very many like Halloween costumes or anything like that. And so I had no real excitement or no real fondness for doing that. When it came down to what I could imagine myself doing, I couldn't. It was horrible. I sat there for like 15 minutes thinking, what would I do? What would I do? What would I do? And I couldn't come up with anything. So the fact that these people had plans, their outfits planned, and they were ready to go, I applaud them. I couldn't think of anything. I thought of a pumpkin, but then of course there's a pumpkin on the table and you're just, it's Halloween, things like that. So I couldn't come up with anything. As far as the contestant progress, Brogan was making a bat costume from using an umbrella that she cut through and took the spokes and made them lean. And so it gave the bat wings, which was really original, a really great 3D effect, I felt like. Christian decided to go for the clowning effort. I think that was really interesting because so many people are afraid of clowns. And it can be really difficult to get people on the clowns. They're supposed to be fun and interesting side of things. So Marnie decided to make a dark fairy with a hoop skirt that would cover the feet to make it look more like she was floating. And Annie was making a dragon. The detail of the dragon was really in the hood, was in the head, the cap piece. And then Manny and Angela both decided to make spiders. Manny made a banana spider. Angela made your more traditional black, like house spider, I guess you would call it. And then Jill made a dollet. Also, Deborah made a character named Miss Havisham. I had not heard of it until listening to the Great British Sewing Bee, and they had to explain it, and I thought to myself, that is not something a 9-year-old is going to ask for. But in the end, she did a really good job. So there were a lot of struggles from multiple contestants from multiple things. A lot of the 3D elements ended up being sort of difficult to apply. Marnie had difficulties with her fishing line, with inserting it. Jill had issues with her foam, inserting that. And Deborah had issues inserting the foam into her little hands that went on top of the head. So overall, with the judges' comments, Angela, they said they weren't overwhelmed. The flies were too small. It needed more accents and a little bit more detail. With Manny, they said there was an overall good effect. The eyes were really nice. They were very 3D, but she could have attached the arms like to each other to make it more spidery, so they didn't just hang down. Christian put a hula hoop in the middle of his clown. And by doing that, it created a fun gait. It was really cute. It helped make it 3D. And it wasn't a scary clown. I've heard so many people who are afraid of clowns, but this was really cute and not scary at all. Then Brogan was clever by using the umbrella, but they said that the bat ears could be bigger and it didn't really read bat. Jill had all the details there. They said the dots were nicely applied. Annie's dragon head, they said was fabulous. It had lots of details. The outfit itself was simple, like a simple onesie and a cape. But by making the dragon's head, it really pulls the whole thing together. Then Marnie had the t-shirt that was short sleeve to go with the fairy outfit, because it was short sleeve, they felt like it made it less fairy-ish. The wings that weren't extended, they were really, it was kind of sad. They sort of just flopped over to the side. But the wings were not extended, and the skirt not being able to puff out really affected the overall look. And then Deborah, she genuinely like loves the hand, they genuinely love the hand painted dress, the way that she weathered it. They said the headpiece was really dramatic, and Patrick ended it with, "I could see it in a show on the West End," which I could see being a huge compliment. So the contestant make that I liked the best was Annie's dragon. If she didn't pull off the head, it totally wouldn't have worked. But surprisingly, even though Deborah's doesn't seem like a 9-year-old would wear it, it felt really kind of spooky and very Halloweenish. So as far as whether or not it made me interested in trying it, I still have no interest in trying it. Not kids costumes, not really adult costumes. But it was fun to watch, and it was fun to see how people put those 3D outfits into play and made it come to life. So overall, I feel like the highlights of the show were Manny's sailor outfit. It was well deserved, first place in the pattern challenge. And Christian's clown, I felt like with so many people being afraid of clowns, this was really adorable, and it sort of pulls that back from the like clowns have to be spooky and scary and creepy. As far as the lowlights, Marnie's sailor suit didn't have the contrast on the tie, so that didn't really work well. Jill's transformation challenge didn't come together. It looked sort of like a sweat, like a well-worn sweatsuit that wasn't high quality. And I hate to say that because that sounds bad, but it wasn't real well put together. And then the dress, the fairy dress, the dark fairy dress that Marnie didn't come off really well. And Angela's spider, I felt, was really kind of lackluster. I didn't feel like there was much to it. I felt like the arms didn't do much. The spider web didn't do much. And like I said, there was no real like fun, fantastical 3D element to the flies either. So as far as the final decision, they decided that Deborah's outfit was the garment of the week, and I think that was really well deserved. Still don't think that a 9-year-old is looking to wear a Miss Havisham dress for Halloween, but it was adequately spooky, and it was really well done in the end. Marnie, however, was the choice for them to leave for the week, and that was a big surprise for me. I had so much hope for her in the competition. She has so much potential. She's obviously a great sewer. She got Garment of the Week already once in the 5 episodes they've done. So I really felt like that was a surprise. But it's just another example of you can't have a bad day in these competitions. If you have a bad day, you're likely on your way out. You just have to have a better day than one other person. And so I was really surprised by it, and thought that it was her time. Unfortunately, it was her time. So tell me what y'all think, and do you think it was Marnie's time to go? Why do you think it was her time to go? Or if you think she should have stayed, who do you think should have gone instead? If you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see what else I'll be doing, then please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching All Things Maya.